rare when you get to promote an event that's bigger than boxing. This is skill versus will, with part of the proceeds going to charity. The brainchild of Mason Dixon to honor past heavyweight champions, warriors like Rocky Balboa. Let's open it up for questions.
Rocky, a few great fighters have fought in their 50s, often with disastrous results. Why risk the danger and embarrassment? The smart money says you have virtually no chance.
Puncher always has a chance. This fight will be competitive.
Why are you doing this, Rocky?
I'd rather do something I love badly
than to feel bad by not doing something you love.
Rocky, the press has labeled you a Balboasaurus. How do you feel about that?
Mason, let's say the following happens. You win, let's say you beat an old guy. You lose, say a thumb in the eye, you be the joke of the decade.
You all know that'll never happen. This is only an exhibition. Don't go trying to make more out of this than that computer tried. Okay?
Is this sport in enough trouble without these circus events?
Next question.
On the surface, this looks like a cheap bit of ring theater between, no offense, a has-been and a man whose own credible legacy and popularity is in doubt. What's the upside?
Doubt? Upside? I mean, what do you mean upside? I mean, what do I have to do? You know, I'm 33-0 with 30 knockouts. And I'm doing you people a favor. I'm having this exhibition for you all. And you're gonna get up here and make a mockery out of me? I'm the champ. I mean, I get pissed, this guy get hurt. See you at the fight.
You guys are a joke. He's gonna get crushed.
Oh, look who's here.
Is this from the father?
In the back.
Unbelievable. Wonderful. You're doing good. You're enjoying everything, all right? Excuse me. How you doing? Glad you come by.
Can I talk with you?
Sure.
Can you do it outside? So you're going through with this?
Yeah, I start training tomorrow.
Hey, Rock, I made some connections. I could make some money on this, endorsements.
Absolutely, do that.
Thank you, Rock.
Sure.
Okay.
So you're nervous about the fight?
They're scared to death.
You don't look scared?
Well, you ain't supposed to.
Then you don't have to do it.
Yeah, well, I think I do.
You know, living with you, it hasn't been easy. People see me, but they think of you. Now with all this going on, this is gonna be worse than ever.
It don't have to be.
No, sure it does.
Why? You got a lot going on, kid.
Oh, well, my last name? That's the reason I got a decent job. That's the reason why people deal with me in the first place. Now I start to get a little ahead. I start to get a little something for myself, and this happens. Now I'm asking you as a favor not to go through with this, okay? This is only gonna end up bad for you, and it's gonna end up bad for me.
You think I'm hurting you?
Yeah, in a way you are.
It's the last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is. Don't you care what people think? Doesn't it bother you that people are making you out to be a joke and that I'm gonna be included in that? Do you think that's right? Do you?
You ain't gonna believe this. But you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life. Don't forget to visit your mother.
John Lilly once put it this way: there are no limits at all to the human mind whatsoever, except those we impose on ourselves because of our beliefs. And those limits are also beliefs to be transcended. And that's a view that suggests that the possibilities of human transformation are virtually infinite. And we have no way of knowing the outer horizon of what it means to be human.
And really, to understand all this, everything, you have to go very, very deep into a study of history, consciousness, neurophysiology, everything. You have to be the supreme eclectic type of leaning, and you really have to be wanting to know who you are and what everything's about.
And the thing that you'll find when you go to sacred sites, if you're very humble about it, is that you are on a personal journey, and the sacred site will respond to you in a way that is appropriate only to you. The information is always what you are searching for. And it's the intent you give that energy that defines whether it is used for right action or not. And it is inside these sacred spaces that you will be reminded that you are a god, that you are a bright star.
So what you're trying to do is move through the course without ricocheting off walls or creating karma. You're trying to slide through things smoothly. How do you do that? It's called flowing. There's a technique that you can do that will allow you to touch some part of your inner being that has more knowledge than your conscious state does.
Hank, what are you doing?
Testing out the new equipment and getting a picture of you while you're still young and innocent?
Oh, well, I am getting married once, not 4 times.
Oh, you're a happily ever after guy.
Yeah.
Detective, what are you looking at? You just bought a ring.
That's not what I'm looking at.
Come on, don't ruin it for me.
Now, she wears Armani, makes low 6 figures, drives a BMW, and is falling for a senior partner at her law firm. Nothing but trouble.
Why can't you just look at her ass like the rest of us?
I can't.
Come on, Nick, we have a call.
Sorry, Nick. Guess I should have worn my airbag today. Aunt Marie. When did you get here?
Hey, she was here when I got home.
Sorry for the short notice.
What, you didn't know she was coming?
I meant to call. Sometimes I mean to do something, and I assume I usually have.
Well, how you doing? Is everything okay?
Not as okay as I used to be.
Here.
We need to talk. But there are so many things I have to tell you.
Why didn't you come here sooner?
I couldn't.
Why?
Just listen to me. There are things you don't know. Things about your family.
My family. You are my family.
Have you been seeing strange things? Things that you can't explain? Oh, I knew it. This is all happening so much faster than I thought it would. When it happened to me, it knocked me on my ass. I couldn't move for a week.
What are you talking about?
The misfortune of our family is already passing to you. I'm so sorry.
What?
Oh my God. He's here.
Who?
Hold up.
Mr. Burkhart? She's conscious now.
You saw him, didn't you? You saw who Halder really was.
I don't know what I saw or how you did that. What's going on?
We have the ability to see what no one else can. When they lose control, they can't hide, and we see them for what they really are.
Look, you need some rest.
This is no fairy tale. The stories are real. What they wrote about really happened. You are one of the last Grimms. I know it's a lot, and I wish I had more time, but everything's in my trailer. Sweetie, there's so much you still don't know.
Look, what you said about my parents?
You're vulnerable now. You need to be careful. Don't ever lose what I gave to you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Burkhart. You can see her again tomorrow.
Hey, you epic being, welcome. Andre Hodge, Infinite Potential Healing, Servant of Truth with you once more. And as always, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I'm very grateful for you even finding me, let alone investing any of your precious peak awareness time with me, right? And during these interesting, challenging and demanding times, but also rich and rewarding on many levels, and a great training ground for expanding and gaining a lot of experience. So I come to you today with some more information I feel will be a great ally to you to navigating this world and discerning and working things out as the wind blows up, blowing all my papers away. I have a lot of papers down me and all my piles of images and stuff like that. Just notes and stuff like that. So the wind's blowing up might prevent mosquitoes from going to town on me, right? But I thought and this section of the video might be quite close to my intro and stuff, because I've got a lot of clips I want to use and I want to employ them to talk about them and stuff, but I'll just do a bit of an intro. And I was joking to myself thinking about this and stuff, but there was a couple of videos back that I didn't do videos for a little bit and stuff, and my videos have been a bit here and there of late. We've had winter and other things going on and not many breaks to get clear and stuff. I've got a really beautiful day down here. We've had some really stunning days, like warm in the middle of winter down here in July. And I was sort of brewing this for a little bit, working on me. I've had some real expansions going on, and I think a lot of people have had expansions, but then also there's a lot of negative shit that's been sent out, such as influences and all that. So as I was saying, I had a bit of a break a bit back, maybe it was 3 or 4 weeks that I didn't do a video and stuff, and I was like, what should I do? I had a whole list, and this one's been on the list for a while to do, and I just had a little bit of a interruption, sorry about that. But what I was saying was, I had that break for a little bit ago and stuff, and and I've, as I said, the weather and all that, and it's just interesting, and I've more been pulling back a little bit from the public stuff and just focusing on me and keeping the basics solid. And there's been a lot of interesting things going on, and the last video I did related to inverse causality, about how things can ripple through time and stuff like that. I can tell there's sort of stuff going on where it's all brewing and stuff goes on, so I can, if I've got influences going on, then I can tell something good is brewing potentially, and it's trying to derail and all that sort of stuff. And so to me, I flip what's going on and just tune into getting really focused and anchored and solid, and take on those variables as confirmation rather than something to avoid. And there's always variables that are trying to give you heads up to stop doing things and all that sort of stuff, and it just becomes, everything has a unique signature and frequency and data related to it, and the more you do, the more you become aware of the subtleties and all that sort of stuff. But I was thinking, like I was saying, I had that bit of a break, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll come with an influence, something very pleasant and joyous, like influences and entities and shit. So I didn't do that a few weeks ago, but I've had this one brewing for a while, and this is going to be influences part 10. It's going to be related to entities, being haunted, soul hijacked, walked in, possessed, and much more. Right? So it's about those things, and it's about just giving the data and the education of sort of scenarios. I've talked about it a lot in the past, but I've been amassing clips for a while, and so I've got some really good clips. But the unfortunate nature of being human on Earth at the moment is, the fact is, this reality is extremely haunted, and there's a lot of variables that aren't pleasant, right? And it's unfortunate, but I would also offer that the good and the bad, it just makes existence more richer, right? So let's approach it that way. There's just much more going on, and there's more going on than society accepts, affecting us on levels that most of us don't appreciate, let alone comprehend, let alone accept and then master. So it's not nice, and it's potentially very nasty, and it affects the people we care about, and maybe they're being messed up to mess with us and stuff, and it creates this overlay in society that's constant, and it makes this awareness journey to expand much more complicated. But then ideally what I've helped to offer and instill, and the mechanics I've sort of all offered over the years, help to be a appreciation of all this, but also from my perspective, there's a finite number of things going on. Potentially there's a lot in the unknown that we don't know, and all this sort of stuff, and there's constant new stuff and all that going on. But I would offer that's a finite set of components in this world that has a limit that it can operate, and what I've set about to do is find a solution to that, and then ultimately the solution, once we get the context, is very simple, right? So then what is the context and all that? And that's where I just say I've been 18 years in the trenches doing this full time, and been through a lot, paid for a lot, it's cost me a lot and all that, but I don't know how you feel, but like I'm 50, right? It's crazy. I'm still a freaking kid. I got into my records recently and got into music because I got to a whole new level, and then I got a lot of pushback and stuff, but I was getting into my records, pulling my records out and going through all my tracks, and I found all these awesome tracks I didn't even remember I had or know and stuff, and just really appreciating things. And you know, like I remember that era of me of the DJ and the music, and it was like 20 years ago and stuff, and I'm a Mixcloud. I put some of my old sets up, and I've got some more to put up if you're wanting to listen to me when I was really cranking. But it's cost me a lot to know this, but I feel incredibly privileged and honored to be here to be able to impart this, because I feel very rich, because I've committed for 18 years to learn this, but I've got the rest of my life to master this world, right? And so I've been just very solid on that foundation. Once you get solid, then you can launch. And so part of my journey was like never knowing compromise, set up for failures and all this, then appreciating that this world is rough. It's a warfare. It's an occupied society and all that sort of crap, and there's no rules, right? We've instilled that respect free will, but the invaders, they've got no respect for it, so it disarms us and all that. So a lot of the teachings out there are set up to failure. A lot of the modalities, practitioners and people in the community are part of the system, and the invaders and all the invaders sort of apparatus and stuff. And so what do we do about it? Do we whinge and whine and complain and think that there's solutions in this society that's a big construct, or do we outgrow and outlast and go beyond and stuff? And that's where I've gone, and that's where I instilled a lot of the things and stuff, and try and cater to all the levels of the audience. But ideally I'm trying to inspire you by making it a shortcut, not having to do the 18 years, at least get the data and then what you do with it. And I would offer just this about me, right? You know, if I was speaking bullshit and setting people up for failure, I'd probably be massively successful, right? And I don't care what people judge me and all that sort of stuff. Ideally they get to the other side and it's like, oh shit, he's gone through the trenches like no one else, right? And he's still outlasted and still here. And so, and another thing is that maybe I'm not supported because I'm see through all the bullshit and bullshit artists and stuff. They're Michelin star, three-star Michelin al dente bullshit artists, right? And all their charisma and all their bullshit, because I know what they're doing on the multi-D and I bust it, and then violation is their asset, right? So I would offer ideally what I've come to is the energy hygiene, sovereignty and all that sort of stuff, the power of our voice. But the big part of my journey is it took 10 years to even consider I'm worthy of being a healer, right? Because all this stuff going on, there was no instruction book. I basically had to invent it from my perspective. And then really get into the trenches, offer myself. And this isn't a criticism out there, but a lot of people, they don't really want to be healed. And it's not just up to me as a healer to help people. People have to be willing to change and accept stuff and integrate stuff and take responsibility as well. And I've just taken it all on board. And you know, if people need to see me as the problem, then that's cool. It's an outlet. I'll take the punches, but ideally people go through that and realize, oh yeah. But what I've seen is that people are very much doing their best, but it comes down to the energy and the investment and you know, willing to take a hit. And I would advise, like, one metaphor of, say, me, it's a bit like the movie Whiplash, right? If you've seen that, it's a freaking awesome movie, but it's brutal and stuff. And I'm pretty tough, but I'm fair, and I'm actually very soft. Like, I saw this metaphor of a pineapple, which is prickly on the outside, but soft and sweet on the inside. And I've just learned to protect that aspect of me. And the way I operate, because of all this influence and all that, is I just, a bit like a shaman. A shaman wouldn't be in a city, it'd be in a tribe, it'd be on a hut on the outside fringes of the tribe, and so that people could come to them. And I've had to sort of isolate myself from involvement and stuff because of all this stuff, right? So so ideally, out of all this, I've helped you inspire that there is more potential to you than you don't even comprehend. We have all these ceilings and all this sort of stuff, but part of the journey I went through is needing help, right? Didn't even know I need help. Then there's all this healing stuff of all the energy and all that sort of stuff. So realizing when I needed help and loving getting help and realizing how empowered it is to allow someone to help. But then also what happens after that, and learning things and how everything is aligned and what people are into, what impact and imprint and their level of hygiene and all that sort of stuff, to then take personal responsibility. It's like, well, learning a few modalities, and 2020 was very inspiring for me. It was horrible, but I employed that to flip it and take responsibility. And with what happened with all the stuff of the health and that, it was like inspired me to see the vulnerability of society and just get into healing. And then I've offered countless times MCKS, pranic healing. Its foundation is energy hygiene, and to me, being able to take control and determine my fate and clear myself of all this sort of stuff has been one of the edges that allow me to feel comfortable coming out and all this and be judged and all that sort of stuff, and not be scared, and just like I ideally cut to the chase with people and get to you, maybe just like a little data point that flips all your journey and stuff and inspires you to not settle for how you are and see the bigger thing going on. And the stuff is rolling out at a scale that's crazy, and it's intimidating and terrifying, and people are worried about privacy and all this sort of crap. I would just say everything on the internet is not being private from the get-go, right? So you're known, all that sort of crap, right? Whatever you think society's done, it's known on another level. Like, the stuff in society wouldn't be that way unless it was exposed and open. And I'm going to use this term ETTs, like entity transfer technology. That's what phones and the internet and Starlink and all that crap is. There's nowhere to hide, right? And I actually went for 18 months without a phone, and I recently bought a new phone, and this phone is new, unfortunately. It does it really close, right? So I'm just going to do a couple videos like this with it and just play with it. But I'm ideally going to need to get a stand and do it a bit different. But ideally that's me taking my professionalism to another level, and so I can do my images and not have to search for them with one hand. And I held it with my left hand, and I broke my wrist. I got sort of taken out in a soccer game, and I break my left wrist, which I'm holding my hand with as well and stuff. So it's time to free that up as well. But I think I'm, with all my experience and what I share, I'm a pretty much very good at dealing with entities and understanding them and all that sort of stuff. So by that understanding, I've tried to share images and stuff, but I've got some really cool clips, right? And I've got a lot to say on all this sort of stuff and how they employ and how they affect us. And maybe I'd do this as a shorter one, maybe it's a long one, and maybe I'd do this as an intro of certain things to help you recognize things in a visual video way, because there's a lot of shows out there that have them and have them as concepts in what's going on, and maybe I show them but it's not what they're trying to display, but I can explain them as a metaphor of what I perceive and all that, and how they affect people and all that sort of stuff, and the body. As I've talked about, I haven't mentioned it for a while, but the spleen is like a USB port to the universal life force all around us, and entities and their tentacles like to hack in and suck our energy and use it and feed off us, feed into systems out there. But also a part of that is to grind us down. I feel like our intuitive stuff, like psychic defense and talents and all that, they need like abundance of life force to run, and then grinding the life force down mitigates them in a way, and then it becomes the survival of the body and the impact on the body, and then you get really depleted and you're just playing catch up in life, and you lack the ability to have emotional control and all those sort of things, right? So I'm going to ideally help you to navigate our world a bit better by sharing some perspectives on all this stuff, and I think it's a really good one to do now. I feel like they've sent out a lot of entities and stuff into the community and all that. If you watch the last one and the energy field mechanics, and part of this, I could obviously go into energy field mechanics and describe things a bit more. I could be very specific in a lot of what I say and share, but also be very vague, because if I'm specific, it might be like the mechanics are worked out and then the mechanics shift and stuff because of that, and people are sort of set up for failure. And so I save the specifics for the individual in the sessions and stuff like that. But this sort of ballpark that I do, it's to give the range in which it might be. And ideally, me just giving you those coordinates, you get the self-realization, then you can snap things out and all that sort of stuff. Because one thing I do, and it's not about, say, me or anyone else telling you. Once you get it for yourself and you get that aha moment, you can go and clear everything from you. And it's just getting the context of what's going on and stuff. So it's very interesting. And again, this stuff isn't pleasant, but I aim to really empower you with the awareness of all this stuff, and realize the way I see it is like, if they need all this, then they must be terrified of us. Like, how bad are they to need all this crap and apparatus and all that? So I'm just like about, surprise, like, we're here, busted, audited, violation is our asset. So I'm doing my audits. If you've done pranics with me and stuff, I do them on myself all the time, and do them on Earth and all that sort of stuff. So what I'm going to do is share some information about this stuff and use some really cool clips, right? So I'm just going to get into it now, right? So what I'm going to do is just show a few of the images, and I've shown them many times and stuff, but offer a bit of context and stuff. And then what I might do is just go through some of the particular types and use some video clips and stuff. I've made a lot of the clips, I've checked for copyrights, and I'm still working on a few clips as well. But ideally, you know, the spiritual no man's land and awareness journey and stuff, this will add a lot more depth of some things, and then the really cool examples I've got will help you as well to have a frame of reference and stuff. Like me, I just get them and stuff, and I'm really quick and clear and stuff, but I think a lot of people are scrambled, a lot of stuff is going into the crowns, the Wi-Fi frequency, mobile sort of stuff that everyone has, and the challenges in life of just all those basic things are really being escalated lately, and it's really demanding to then also take on board this stuff. So don't feel you're anything less or anything, say to me or anyone out there. It's just like you're brave to even appreciate this stuff. But ideally, once you get the context and the aha moments, it's like a massive, like I said, like conscious Tetris next level sort of stuff, right? So I'm just going to show you some of the images and then talk about some of the variables and the types of influences at play, right? So this is the spiritual no man's land, right? 3D 5 cents and spiritual no man's land and getting beyond it and all that. And obviously I've employed this many times, and so you know it quite well, but this influences release is ideally giving you some truth ammunition of what's going on in the spiritual no man's land. And I would just also offer, you've probably been dealing with this all your life, just not knowing it, but now you know it. It's gone from an inactive state to a very active state, and then your potency has gone to a whole new level to help get through it, right? So I'm just going to move on, right? So this is the awareness journey, and again, I've shared this many times, right? It's like once you start breaking out, particularly if you're an epic soul, and maybe you've been tagged through time and stuff and known and all that, and you step out of the reality and challenge it and all that, then, and you're not aligned to the invaders, right? Then there's potentially a lot of chop that we have to go through, and all the red sort of stuff is potentially issues, individuals targeting us, and entities as well. All right, so it's more about that sort of range. I wouldn't say all this stuff is too high dimensional, but it's just designed to grind us down, and once you get smashed, influenced, hijacked, haunted and all that, then the ups and downs can happen really quick, and then life can compound, right? You might get grinded down, hit, and then, you know, many other things combine to derail life and all that, right? Or people around you get hijacked. You trust people, and then they don't have defense or appreciation of energy hygiene or accept all this stuff and all that. So it's more data to comprehend, but it's also ideally truth armor to get through as well, right? But we just have to accept it is how it is, and ideally you get over that it sucks bullshit and all that sort of stuff to power through and really empower your attitude to get beyond it all, right? So I'm just going to move on. In the energy mechanics part 1, I released a couple of these images of how the spiritual no man's land and that awareness journey translates into our energy field and hacks and influences and stuff. And the vast majority of people don't accept even this stuff, right? Don't even know it happens and being totally run by it, right? And so if we just accept all this, and we take it on board, and ideally like you've taken on board some of the stuff I do and all that to help get through it, to power through of how epic life can be, right? I'm just going to move on. So this one is another relationship between the spiritual no man's land and awareness journey and how it can affect us without knowing it. So this one is a good one because it's got some stuff in the field, right? The crown and all that. It's really interesting of late. Like my awareness has gone up, and I've had a few people come through and stuff, and it's been really fascinating. And one of the things that's going on is like crowns can get rewired, and you can be in your bubble of your field not knowing it, and it can be actually positive. Like the negative can make you feel positive and all that, and I've got some pretty cool clips about that. It's about a light entity and energy and stuff, right? How it can actually trigger and give you stuff, right? So you think you're good, but on the outside it's really compromised, and I had some people weaponize massively. The metaphor was like, it was like, you know, the 1940s battleships with 3 barrels at the front just smashing me because of the ripple through time, like the inverse causality was going to come through, and we were going to meet, or I was going to try and set up to do a session and stuff like that to help people out. So a lot of this stuff can get weaponized, and as I said, it's just like, ooh, don't want this, so it's like it's all that's going to happen. It's going to unfold, and then violation is the asset, and go and smash it all, right? But this is just the stuff that goes on, right? And don't feel bad, don't feel less or anything like that. The level of energetic influence warfare is off the charts, and just the vast majority of people have no idea about this, let alone whether they're influenced and stuff. So you having the courage to accept all this and all that is very brave. And then what do you do about it? And to me, the vast majority of the power of this is by us not being aware of it. So if we're aware of it, then we know what to do and accept it. Then we can get to the other side. I just hope to inspire your potential with all that, right? And then it might be just a case of, I don't know what's happening and all that, but maybe you get hit, maybe you get experience, maybe you develop over time, and then you start sensing the issues and all that sort of stuff, right? But ultimately, you wouldn't be here unless you have that ability to overcome so much in your life to get to here. Why can't you just employ that to this multi-dimensional stuff, right? So I'm just going to move on. In the energy field mechanics part 1, I employed this as an example of how an entity can influence us and stuff, right? It just might be in a high dimensional level, in an outer band of the field and stuff like that, and it goes through and messes with you and stuff. So when I do my thing, I clear this sort of stuff out. But the reason why I share this is I've got a couple of really cool clips. I've got one from the Venom movies, and one from Star Trek Discovery, I think. Might be about 10 minutes or so, 8-10 minutes. But it's really interesting that, to me, like, I realized this lately, the Venom sort of stuff and the Star Trek sort of stuff, of how nasty it is and attached to these people. It's like there's this black tar that goes through people, and it hacks into, say, the back of the heart or the base or the spleen and stuff like that, and it's very much like treacle or tar, and trying to get it out, it's just like I've got to be patient to chip away, because I'm using my hand and I'm clearing it by a stroke, right, like in front of me, and dumping it into like a bucket of salt water with Epsom salt and stuff. And I've tried to describe this, And it might be tough, even if you're influenced and stuff, to even comprehend it. But I think like these video clips are going to be pretty cool. So what I want to do first off is leave you with a couple clips, all right, of this relative to this sort of metaphor. And I think it's going to be very powerful for you to hear and see, all right? And the other thing is the Venom character is a bit like, it's a possession. It's a variable of possession, all right? So it's like interacting with the mind and influencing mind and messing with the body, not being sovereign and all that sort of stuff, right? And it's fascinating. I would like just, there's nothing wrong with this, but say it's encouraged by a movie in Hollywood and people are actually like, yeah, I want a Venom, right? I want to be possessed or taken over and hijacked, right? Just think about that. And also watch the shirt that's on Tom Hardy as well, the symbol, which is quite fascinating, right? But what I might share is the more gentle clip first, the one from Star Trek Discovery. It's a pretty awesome series with a lot of stuff. And then what I might do is then share the Venom clip, which it's not meant to be unpleasant and stuff, but it's all that sort of stuff, right? Because how tough it is can be to release it, like clear these energies and stuff like that, right? So I'm going to leave you with them, and I hope you enjoy and get a lot from them, and I'll see you on the other side, all right? Enjoy.
You all right? What's wrong? Have you been crying? I asked first. Talk to me. I need a problem I can solve. More than you know.
Talk to me. Haven't I been punished enough? What happened up there was upsetting to me. I panicked.
Tilly.
Tilly, don't ruin what we have. We're not defeated yet.
After the dark matter hit me, I started to see a ghost. She's a girl that I knew when I was a teenager. Her name was May, but she's dead. And the May that I knew was really meek and kind of goofy when you got to know her, but this May is different. She's insistent. She's grooming me for something. For what? She hasn't said.
Because you're ignoring me. And I'm getting scared. And we need a new plan.
I am losing it, Michael. She's wearing me down. I've been avoiding sickbay, but at this point, I don't know what to do. I'm desperate. And after today, I'm never gonna make captain.
Your eyes are dripping.
Because I'm crying. She doesn't know what crying is.
I've got to think. I'll be back to talk some sense into you later.
She left.
How can she not know what tears are? That's impossible. Show me a teenage girl who's never cried. You can't. I know, I'm a xenoanthropologist. And if May were a hallucination, pulled from your subconscious, then she'd know that emotion because you know that emotion. So May is something, Tilly. But I don't think she's a ghost or an illusion. You said she appeared to you after the asteroid shocked you. But why did it shock you? I held a piece in my hand, and I wasn't zapped. The dark matter component of the asteroid, it reacts when it's in proximity to one thing. Spores. You don't need sickbay. You need stamets.
We should have results in 1 second.
I told you he was shorter, blonder, whiter. There he is. That's the captain.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. That's where he flies.
What's going on?
She's back, and she's
pissed. Maybe at you. Please hurry. Stop talking to him until I tell you what to say.
Just as I suspected, you are hosting a eukaryotic organism.
A fungus?
Obviously multicellular, since it has opinions.
Fungus. Don't you dare diminish. Don't you dare diminish me.
Anyone who works around the spore drive is inoculated. How did she contract it?
It's possible that a spore evolved a resistance, like bacteria.
And don't you call me bacteria. Or it's a different spore altogether than the ones we harvest here. When Discovery escaped the Terran universe, their spores rained down on engineering.
If one attached itself to you... Hey, May.
Is that her? He's the villain. Don't let him poison you against me.
There's our hitchhiker, a multidimensional fungal parasite.
Why does it appear to be someone I knew when I was a teenager?
Brain manipulation, perhaps?
These people are lying. I am not a manipulator. You're special, Tilly. You're my only chance. I need you. How do we get rid of it?
We use the attraction between the fungal spores and the dark matter asteroid to suck her out of you. This might hurt a bit.
If you think you can destroy me, Captain, you're in for a fight.
Security breach by unknown alien species and engineering. Engage quarantine protocol. Alpha, Omega.
I don't know how.
Lab Sector 3.
Oh, no! Maria? Maria! Oh, shit! My legs. Oh my God, my legs were broken. Now they're not broken. What is happening?
What the hell are you?
I am Venom, and you are mine.
You bit somebody's head off.
Fuel in the tank. Listen carefully, Eddie. You did not find us. We found you. Think of yourself as my ride.
Where are you going?
We need Carlton Drake's rocket. You remember him?
How do you even know about that?
I know everything, Eddie.
You do?
Everything about you.
How?
I am inside your head. You are a loser, Eddie.
You gonna eat anybody else?
Most likely.
Oh, God.
That is why we are here. Cooperate, and you might just survive. That is the deal.
Thanks for coming in. Eddie, I'm sorry.
What?
Eddie, I got your labs back, and your heart has atrophied.
Do not listen to him. I can fix it. I don't want you to fix it. I can heal you.
Yeah. Can you fix it?
No, I've never seen anything like this before. But this parasite, whatever this
Parasite?
it's eating you from the inside.
It's not.
You're using him up.
No, she is wrong.
Eddie, you need to get you to the ICU.
Wait. Am I, Eddie, am I dying?
No!
You're killing him.
They do not know what they are talking about.
Listen, we don't have a lot of time.
Oh, God!
We have to get out of here.
Oh, God, he's killing her. I'm killing you. I'm so sorry. No, don't do that.
Are you all right? I had to get him out of you.
What is that? You were killing me? What happened to we? What happened to we?
Yeah, look at you now, huh?
Now you're dying too. We're done.
Where do you think you're going?
Anywhere other than here.
You don't think we have a little...
No, Anne, wait, you're not gonna leave me here with this thing. You wanna tell me what the hell's going on?
I do. And you're right. We do need to talk about it, but I don't know much more than you do. I guess he had no one else to turn to. He's a very complicated man. But Dan, I promise, there's nothing going on between me and Eddie.
I'm not talking about you and Eddie, Anne.
Oh.
I'm talking about that.
Dan?
Where is it?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for being here still. Very interesting, hey. Just like when I watch these shows, it's like, wow, like awesome metaphors of helping literally entities with consciousness influencing the host that they're attached to, that is just like rife in society, man. Like you just realize like how many people you might have been influenced, like have been influenced that are, you know, polarized against you and stuff. Like why can't we get agreements and all this sort of stuff? Just imagine the industry of influence out there like this, right? But they're really cool clips, right? And it's unfortunate, right? And the thing is, like, I would just offer, like, how we deal with this. We individually deal with it with ourselves, and we get ourselves stronger to then be able to serve others, right? But you got to be spiritually selfish now and put yourself first, and try to be the example for others to show what's going on. Like I've been in hospitals lately and stuff. It's not me, but talking with nurses and stuff, talking about all this and the energy and how entities can hack in and suck out life force and all that. And I know people crave for this stuff and long for it, and they don't even know it's out there. And that's where I'm like open and I share, and I don't push it, but I just, it's an offering in the impartation that I give people and stuff. But I know I can help everyone, and you know, you imagine what these entities are doing. I'm just going to share some other images quick, right? Haven't shared these for a while, but these are just like interpreting the reality sort of thing of data sets and all that out there. So if you're clear, you ideally be able to identify the good versus the bad, right? and sense things and just know, right? And can tune into the influence and the Trojan horses and all that sort of stuff, right? I'm just going to go to another image relative to this set. This is the other one at that. And the top one is, say, when you're clear and you're not influenced, then you can perceive things and you know threats and you know good things and stuff. But the one down the bottom is like you're hacked, right? Imagine if you've got an entity and it creates a blind spot, so you're vulnerable, right? Grinds your life force down and all that. And I just share this because, like, it's very easy to get hacked in the multi-D. It's like you need a microsecond, things are in, and then you're playing catch up and you've got to dig yourself out of stuff, and then you can actually be drawn to the negative to compound life, right? All that sort of stuff, okay? So I share this because if you think other people with awareness have an advantage, it's very tough, right? And they can get very compromised easy because of the vastness of the vista that they've got to cover, not knowing it. So going higher dimensional in that awareness sort of thing is actually challenging, right? So this is an example for the highly aware that don't even know they got back doors and stuff, and I'm very good at clearing all that stuff out, right? So I'm just going to move on. So what I might do is show you a clip relative to Soul Hijack, right? And this one is a bit more pleasant, it's funny. It's from the movie Ghostbusters. But it's a really good example. And the scientist guy, he's got the technology to scan the body and the soul and stuff like that, and it's a really good metaphor of this, right? And the other cool thing about this clip is, to do the scan, he's got this cap on his head, and it's like a metaphor of the crown, how the crown can be rewired and stuff like that. And like I said before, I realized, like, some people can have a particular crown, like I used to know, and it still goes on. It's like our energy bodies, like it can have a false crown transplanted onto us, right? So it's not actually ours, and then it can be wired and puppeting us and stuff like that. What I also realized, like, this is an example I knew recently, is that stuff can go on and can be like, give you beneficial things, and you think in it, you think it's good and stuff. So it's like, instead of being negative now, some of the stuff you get is actually good. So it's like, well, like you might get data perceptions, you think you're getting upgrades and all that, but it's actually misguiding you, right? And you don't even know you're being wired incorrectly and all that. So it's just challenging, right? It's like you've got to be like a Japanese katana, like the swords where it gets folded over, and the more you get folded, the stronger you get, so you overcome it. And we're all being influenced potentially, and we're all gone through this, and we're all actually a lot stronger than what we realize. It's just understanding all this, and it works on a different level. Like, you can't think this, you can't intellectualize it. You can have the data points to reference, but you have to be in harmony with it and to appreciate it on different levels and just sense it, the subtleties. And it's just muscles, and the more familiar you get with it, the more stronger and obvious they become, right? So I'm just going to show you this clip from Ghostbusters. It's relative to soul hijacking, right? So enjoy, I'll see you on the other side.
Trap, the destroyer. Gatekeeper.
I am Vince Clortho, Keymaster of Gozer. Volka Sildro, Lord of the Cebulia. Are you the gatekeeper?
Hey, he pulls the wagon. I make the deals. You want to ride?
sign, then all prisoners will be released. You will perish in flames!
What an asshole.
Dropping off or picking up?
Dropping off.
Just a moment.
You a Ghostbuster?
Yes.
We picked up this guy. Now we don't know what to do with him. Bellevue doesn't want him, and I'm afraid to put him in the lockup, and I know you guys are into this stuff, so I figured we'd check with you.
All right. Are you the gatekeeper?
You better bring him inside.
You are so kind to take care of that man. You know, you are a real humanitarian.
I don't think he's human. What did you say your name was?
Vince Clortho, Keymaster of Gozer.
According to this, his name's Louis Tully. Lives on Central Park West. Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I?
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
Vince, you said before you were waiting for a sign. What sign are you waiting for?
Gozer the Traveler. He will come in one of the pre-chosen forms. During the rectification of the Voldrani, the Traveler came as a large and moving torb. Then, during the third reconciliation of the last of the McKettrick supplicants, they chose a new form for him, that of a giant slore. Many Shubs and Zools knew what it was to be roasted in the depths of the slore that day, I can tell you.
Egon,
Excuse me.
there's something very strange about that man. Listen, I'm usually very psychic, and I have a terrible feeling that something awful's gonna happen to you. I'm afraid you're gonna die.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed it. Interesting, hey? A lot of these things in front of our face, right? And like, see, for me, like, I can tell when people are a bit hijacked and stuff. It feels to me like, say the soul, the true soul, is retreated behind and there's something in front, and I know it's a violation. And say if I employ my pure source mechanics and basically aligning people to their totality and free will and all that sort of stuff, then this stuff doesn't last. But the thing is, it can be out in front of you like a layer, and it's running things and you don't even know it's at play. But unusual things happen, and you might be a bit passenger to things. You don't even know you lost the authority over your journey, sort of stuff. And it's very subtle. It's not as obvious and all that, but it's a good example, right? So just remember, you're always the authority over your body tech and your sovereignty. This world, it owns the body, right? You have to claim your sovereignty, but you being born into it is, to me, it means that you're the authority over it. So owning your sovereignty and owning your authority of your multi-dimensional selves of being here, because aligned with Earth and all that, means that you can flip all this, and it's just a matter of having that attitude that you are that of your journey, your authority, your body, and all that sort of stuff, right? These might sound very simple and all that, but you have to bring with the intent and the force and the absolute will to be that in any moment, right? So another example and variable is being possessed, right? And a lot of these clips all relate to similar things, but say possession is something running you, alright? And I've got a really cool clip. It's probably not that pleasant. Most people probably don't want to watch this, but ideally if you can disarm the emotion and take the pure data, because you realize that stuff can actually be designed to trigger your emotions. And it's not me, it's not the videos that might be already in you that disarms you by the visceral emotional reaction that you can just disarm. And you can separate the emotion sort of stuff and just take the data, right? I freaking hate horror movies. I remember when I was 4 or 5 in Ceduna, Australia, with the people I was around, they used to watch horror movies, and yeah, I got freaked out. So I freaking hate horror movies and all that, but I can appreciate these things for what they are. So I'm not trying to spook you, to open up your energy field, to disarm the defense of your field. It's just to appreciate the data, right? So what I'm going to show you is this clip. It's from the movie Independence Day, and it's literally like a being puppeted. So it's like possessed, right? And I'll share that here now, alright? So enjoy.
Dr. Oken! Open the door. Get him out of there. No, wait.
I know there is much we can learn from each other if we can negotiate a truce. We can find a way to coexist. Can there be a peace between us?
No peace.
What is it you want us to do?
Mr. President. Is that glass bulletproof? No, sir. Are you all right?
I saw his thoughts. I saw what they're planning to do. They're like locusts. They're moving from planet to planet. Their whole civilization. After they've consumed every natural resource, they move on. And we're next. Let's snoop the bastards.
So welcome back. Interesting clip, hey? It's like the entity is running him, and it's... the scenario is that it's being puppeted, and possessed, all right? You see the possession, the entity behind and all that. Possessions can be pretty nasty. They can be very difficult to dig yourself out of. And the individuals being possessed can be weaponized because it's like a Trojan horse. So, say me, like interacting with chats, the entities can be behind. And you disarm, you let people in, and that stuff comes through and just goes at you very hard. And then, say me as a healer, it goes after your arm or your body to derail your ability to heal and get yourself out of it, let alone heal people. And yeah, those are the sort of things that go on, all right? So I've got some other ideas on clips as well that I'm meaning to share. And I got a good example of being haunted, right? And the movie out there, Odd Thomas, and I've used clips from it a lot in the past. It only allows me to do about 2 or 3 minutes, I think. There's some really good examples of things, but then there's this guy that's really, really haunted, right? And he's going to different areas, and he goes into this location where Odd Thomas is, and he brings all the entities and all that sort of stuff, right? So it's, people can be in their world and not know this. It's a bit like the crown stuff I say. This stuff can go on, but it can go at everyone else, right? So the thing with haunted things, it's tough, right? And I'm just going to show an image before I get into that as well, right? I haven't used this for a long time, but I was thinking of doing this with the energy field mechanics when I talked about spiritual groups and society and that. Just imagine all these lines of different networks or people and all their connections and all that sort of stuff, right? And the red are influence, the green are good, but the red influence people and all that sort of stuff, right? It's unfortunate to say, and I don't like saying this, but spirituality can be some of the most haunted and toxic sort of variables and groups you can go to, because people are aware of this stuff, but they don't heal and they don't take responsibility of the energy field and all that sort of stuff. So you can be targeted and hijacked and all that sort of stuff by haunted people that are bringing all this stuff in, right? They're doing all these videos. But just imagine like going into a location or into a group or having interactions. You don't know all the networks of people, so it can be like 3 or 4 rungs down, and the entities can come through and go through all the network to go at you and all that sort of stuff, right? So so what I want to do is just show you this clip, and it's about this guy that's very messed up, and he's bringing all his stuff into wherever he's going, not knowing it, right? And I'll see you on the other side. Enjoy.
Called him Bodax.
Well, not to their faces, I hope.
I never met anybody that could see him before. Yesterday, when I finally saw one, I gave him the finger, Holmes.
Don't you know? If they find out you can see them, they will kill you. They will kill you. You are so cool.
So you deny me my weirdness, but agree that I'm screwed up?
You're right. I see your problem. Weirdness, it can be fun. It can be kind of cool. Screwed upness, not so much. You are quite weird.
Apology accepted.
Later, my love.
Miss you already.
Later.
Months often pass when I don't see a single Bodak. When they do show up, it's a sure sign that carnage and bloodshed are not far behind.
Morning.
They don't cause it, they feed on it. The more Bodaks that show up, the bigger the eventual feast. They're attracted to evil like bees to flowers. They know when death is coming and want to watch. They don't show up for any ordinary death. They want extreme, operatic violence and terror. Penny Callisto's death wasn't horrific enough to bring a single Bodak into our world. This town is in serious trouble.
Bye, honey.
See you, ladies.
Nicolina! Lavana!
So welcome back. Interesting, hey. And this is probably enough for now, alright? I've got a lot of descriptions about society and all that sort of stuff and the effects on their bodies and all that. It's getting dark where I'm at, and this is quite long, and it's going to be quite involved as it is, I think, and I think this will be quite profound for a lot of people of just giving really good examples. It's not meant to be too advanced, but you can take it to a very advanced level if you want. Ideally, it's a bit of a bridge for you to get some visual appreciation of things. And the stuff that goes on is just rife in society. And I want to talk about, say, the spiritual warfare, how it affects our bodies, how society is set up. Like I said, ETTs, like entity transfer tech, it's industrialized at the moment, and like the internet and mobile phones and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all that are totally open books on the multi-dimensional to allow all this stuff in. And like humanity has no takes no ownership of the responsibility of their energy field of what it might bring, right? And if you watch Energy Field Mechanics Part 1, it's like Sabrina Wallace has been talking about. Our biofield is 80% of our immune system, right? So imagine if just something is sitting in your field and what that's doing, and it's hacked into your spleen and sucking all your energy and all that sort of stuff, right? It's just crazy, right? So the thing is, and what it comes down to is, it's disappointing, it's disheartening, and it sucks, right? But what are you going to do about it? You're going to whinge and whine, or are you going to own your shit and take responsibility for yourself and actually appreciate this is how it's always been? You've just got the awareness now. And ideally, like, if you've appreciated what I've offered, then I'm giving you a pathway to sort of navigate it, overcome it, and power through, and in spite of it, be badass and epic, right? You could go out and learn pranic healing. You could do things like sage, you know, use oils, colors in your clothing, salt bars, and one really cool tool out there from my perspective is ear candles. Like, ear candles go out and clear the multi-dimensional stuff, so I recommend them for a lot of people. If people are really in trouble, I just say, look, get ear candles and see if you can do it. Like, it shakes out the who's really messed with, and like, you know, if someone's really smashed and desperate, like, they'll do anything, and it how desperate are you, sort of thing. And ear candles can, like, it's not about what it gets out of your ears, it sucks all the shit out of your field, sort of thing. They're a really cool tool to embrace and explore with and see how you feel, right? But the key is appreciating all this, accepting it, and maybe it's going to evolve, and maybe it's going to be nasty, but if you start putting it all together, you just see how influenced and derailed people are, how rewarded they are for it as well, right? A lot of people, they get benefits from it, and they're governed by the benefits or the comforts or the materialism and the finances and all that. And but ideally, like, you take all this and you appreciate it, And what I hope to inspire is being clear is worth it. Like being in groups and being with people that are messed up and getting compromised or getting lower energies around your sexual organs and stuff that harvest your kundalini and all that, and getting into relationships and all that crap with compromised people, or doing drugs, which are like pathways that influence and entities and all that. Once you are able to get beyond that and anchor it and be superior in spite of all this shit, it's freaking epic. Like being able to just make that good decision. Like I'll just show the image and I'll finish off, right? That I've shown many times before. We have countless potentials in life that might be influenced and might be there for the taking. And to me, being armed up with the truth and skill set to be able to clear myself to sense out what's going on and stuff is such a precious, privileged place to be. It's worth it. And so what I just try and instill is inspire you to take control of your fate and your journey. And what I have to offer is, I know, an ally to all this, but you can do it yourself, right? But just think about those potent times of your existence when everything is on the line. Don't you want to be clear, to know what to do and trust yourself? So I'll just move on. So it looks quite bright on my screen, but I'm sure it's pretty dark, right? But I'm not going to make this too in-depth and too heavy and stuff. I hope appreciating this variable of society, the influences and the entities and being haunted and hijacked and walked in and possessed and all that. Ideally, this will be a bit of a codex of what's going on out there, all right? And then once you see it and appreciate it, you can sense it in people around you. You can see the signs or feel it, and it really arms you up with a level of truth that you haven't had before, and it translates a lot. And then you can start filling out the ones that are clear and ones that are not, and ones that got back doors and ones that have and haven't. And maybe this helps translate a sense that you had, like a ripple, like I offered in the inverse causality, that you couldn't translate, but now it helps translate it and stuff. And ideally it just really empowers you to take your journey to a whole new level and just realize, like I said at the start, yes, it's quite unpleasant and horrible that this factor is in society that just isn't for our best interests. But how do you feel being superior to it, that it doesn't affect you, but you've got the maintenance and the dedication and the thoroughness to not let it affect you, right? Ideally, it helps you have an awesome life in spite of everything, and then be a incredibly potent example to everyone else that inspires them to want to seek this for themselves and take the responsibility for their journey at a whole new level, like you have and I have and all of us have, right? So I hope this is very powerful for you once more. I hope you get a lot from this. I hope it helps you translate a lot and helps you get past stuff that maybe you weren't able to in the past, right? So thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the journey. And I'll look to expand on this in the future, all right? Lots of love. Take care. Keep being epic. And don't ever dismiss that you're not, right? Don't ever even allow yourself to think that you're not. Switch your attitude, flip it, and power on through, right? You've got this. Let's see where we go, all right? All the best. Lots of love. And bye for now. Until next time. Andre, the brat from down under, out. Take care.
Swimming in December, heading for the city lights. 975, we're sharing each other, nearer than farther. Scent of lemon drips from your eyes. We are the people that rule the world, what's running in every boy and girl, all rejoicing in the world. Take me now, we can drive, we live in adventure, love in the summer, follow the sun tonight, reminiscing of the times of life. For each every other, the feeling is stronger. Shock hit 11, got lost in your eyes. Can't do why when I think you're gonna leave me, but I'm gonna try. Are you gonna leave me now? Can't you be believing now? Can't do why when I think you're gonna leave me, but I'm gonna try. Are you gonna leave me now? Can't you be believing now? Can you remember in human eyes? It was to where we'd energize, lie in the sand and visualize like it's 75 again. We are the people that rule the world, what's running in every boy and girl, all rejoicing in the world. Take me now, we can drive. Can't do why when I think you're gonna leave me, but I'm gonna try. Are you gonna leave me now? Can't you be believing now? Can't do why when I think you're gonna leave me, but I'm gonna try. Are you gonna leave me now? Can't you be believing now? Know everything about you, know everything about me, know everything about us. I know everything about you, know everything about me, know everything about us. Can't do why when I think you're gonna leave me, but I'm gonna try. Are you gonna leave me now? Can't you be believing now? Can't do why when I think you're gonna leave me, but I'm gonna try. Are you gonna leave me now? Can't you be believing now?
John Lilly once put it this way: there are no limits at all to the human mind whatsoever, except those we impose on ourselves because of our beliefs. And those limits are also beliefs to be transcended. And That's a view that suggests that the possibilities of human transformation are virtually infinite. And we have no way of knowing the outer horizon of what it means to be human.
And really, to understand all this, everything, you have to go very, very deep into a study of history, consciousness, neurophysiology, everything. You have to be the supreme eclectic type of leaning, and you really have to be wanting to know who you are and what everything's about.
And the thing that you'll find when you go to sacred sites, if you're very humble about it, is that you are on a personal journey, and the sacred site will respond to you in a way that is appropriate only to you. The information is always what you are searching for. And it's the intent you give that energy that defines whether it is used for right action or not. And it is inside these sacred spaces that you will be reminded that you are a god, that you are a bright star.
So what you're trying to do is move through the course without ricocheting off walls or creating karma. You're trying to slide through things smoothly. How do you do that? It's called flowing. There's a technique that you can do that will allow you to touch some part of your inner being that has more knowledge than your conscious state does.